Hello, people. Instead of making this an hour-long rant like I promised a long time ago, I've decided to make this a much shorter rant to point out who Scott Rosenfield is, some of his history, and ask any of you who come in contact with him to just mark him as spam and don't even pay this troll any mind. Who is Scott? What does he do? Scott is a guy who started on DeviantArt and pretended to be some hero of DeviantArt so that he could get away with doing whatever he wanted. And yes, I mean that. Absolutely. He takes absolutely no remorse for anything he ever does wrong. And even though he gives shitty apologies, he means absolutely nothing of what he says. I made the absolute mistake of giving this guy yet another chance. He's been at this for 2 years now, and has a horrible role-playing fetish. At the epitome of when he started doing shit, he pretended to be hacked by another account known as STK00. Gonna let you know right now, I got in contact with this quote-unquote hacker, who, may I add, informed me fully that he never, ever hacked Scott at all. Sorry if I refer to Scott as Cam, because right now Scott is playing a little game of I'm going to move on from everything, and if you remember anything I've ever done, you're in the past. You're the one making the mistake now. Kind of sounds familiar from what he did in the past whenever we ever went against him. Let me remind you, Scott has done multiple things in many other ways. Let me stick to one story at a time. So, Scott pretended to be hacked and went around DA harassing a number of people. Not only did he mess up our chances of fixing a problem with selective virus 115, but he also made a couple of people cry. He also harassed other people, and then on the final day, announced rather suddenly that he was a hacker and that he had fooled us all. Scott has an insane detachment from reality that makes him seem more like a cartoon character straight off a comic strip from the late 80s, more than anything else. Like if Batman was more stupid and retarded and the Joker just didn't learn anything better than to just laugh ironically. No, I'm not joking here. This is legitimately Scott in a nutshell. Okay, another pinnacle of Scott's ruined reputation, which makes my blood boil every time. And yes, I'm showing evidence throughout all this. All the evidence I've ever gathered is when Scott began to tell each and every one of his once friends, for even calling him out on what was going on, that they were somehow evil. That's right. Scott has an insane hero complex that if you went against it in any shape or form, you were somehow the evil ones. It's like, I constantly tried to tell him this, but he refused to listen. Not everyone likes to be labeled good or evil. This is like really horrible for someone's self-esteem, ever. Now, excuse me real fast, gonna pause. Also, if you hear music in the background, it's to help me relax. This quick story, was when Scott was going around DA telling who was good and evil, just because people didn't want to be in whatever fiasco was going on at the time. Now again, I will state it. At the time, we were trying to tell him gently, some people don't want to be in certain situations. You've got to let people be who they are. After all, it's called deviant art. People are artists. They want to do art. They don't want to get into drama. But Scott refuses to listen even to this day that that's not the case at all. Even I do art. But apparently all people watch me for is for the journalists and other things. Anyways. This is where you're going to see Scott for what he truly is. So we make someone cry, right? Well, it's going to go one step further than that. Not only does he make someone cry, but when their friend comes around to ask him, why did they make their friend cry? If I blow my lid, understand why. What does Scott reply? Scott doesn't reply like the normal human would. He doesn't reply like, I'm sorry I made your friend cry. I guess your friend was a little insensitive. Sorry they took my comment so harshly. No. What does Scott say? You are darkness and pure evil and must be eliminated. Does a role-playing god-modding move and then blocks the person downright. Trying not to blow up. What the fuck? Okay. I'm trying not to rip my hair out. My God. That comment spawned a hellstorm of everyone else coming at Scott like pouncing lions after finding out their cub was attacked. So, as you can imagine, Scott got banned off a DA for, of course, obvious reason. He was misrepresenting people. He was telling people who was good and evil. He was... Oh my God. He was even stated and quoted to have sent death threats. I'm not sure, but what the hell? I wouldn't be shocked if this was true, because after all, he said the death threat god-modding move. That's not far from the line. Shit, man. So, 5 months pass on DA, and we managed to get Virus to stop harassing people, stop pity parties, the whole 9 yards. Suddenly we're visited on YouTube, a number of us, with Scott rampaging like a maniac, saying how the world's gonna end September 18th, 2015. What? And then he rampages about my account on a Women vs. Anita video about how I'm getting into situations I'm not supposed to. So, did Scott just conveniently forget I'm a woman? And that I play games? I don't know. I think I have a right to stand here. And then, the most hilarious of all. Not only is he rampaging about like a wild, crazy elephant, about ready to destroy New York City. You think that sounds nuts? Wait till you hear the following lines. Let's see if I can get it right. Scott legitimately says this. About Virus, no less. Virus is more dangerous than ISIS, Al-Qaeda, and the KKK. What? Let me say that one more time. Let's see if I can make sense of it. Virus is more dangerous than ISIS, who kidnaps hundreds of women, puts them into sex slave camps, does bombings in Paris, and mutilation. Al-Qaeda mutilates, decapitates, beheads, terrorist attacks. KKK, burning, terrorist attacks. This one tiny account on a mediocre site on the internet, who's been proven not to come for the deep web, mind you, is more dangerous than all three of those tyrants. Also, keep in mind, the person he's speaking about also does pity journals. This is like saying a very tiny 1-inch toy chihuahua is more dangerous than 3 giant-sized saber-toothed tigers. Oh, right. How about Siberian tigers? Yeah, that's where this logic's going. You laughing your ass off yet? Because this is going to get funnier. Because Scott discovered the amazing ability of IP changing, he is somehow the god of the internet and can strike down anyone with his abilities, with his newfound abilities of IP changing. Someone's really digging into the role-playing fetish way too much. Because last I checked, Leafy is Here did a video on God of the Internet, or Goddess of the Internet, of YouTube. And isn't Markiplier and PewDiePie considered gods of the Internet too? Where's your cult following? Oh right, you continue doing shit. I forgot for a mere second. Oh boy. It gets better, people. Not only do we discover more about his bullshit background, and it sounds more like someone's horrible fanfic writing. Hang on, I've got a cat. So, not only do we find out more about Scott's horrible fanfic writing, of himself, obviously. Like, why does Scott spend 24 hours on the internet? Really, why does he? Why shouldn't he, help stop bullying out there in the world? Here's why. Because a friend of his in reality died because of bullying. Never once mentioning how it's cyberbullying. Okay, Scott. That sounds more like a story for why you should join the army or maybe the cops. Hang on just a second. So, Scott says those lines legitimately. The reason why he spends his life wasting away at a computer is because someone died in reality due to bullying. Why don't you join the army or cops or something? Oh, it gets better, people. Here's why he has lost all faith in humanity. You ready for this one? You really ready for this one? This is the one that's going to really, really make you laugh. I mean, come on. Not even I saw this one coming. God lost faith in humanity because of a game. What? That's right. A Pokemon online game is the reason why Scott lost all faith in humanity. My God. This is like saying, as long as my cookie can't even get into a cup, I've lost all faith in humanity. No, seriously, make a meme out of this. This is why Scott lost faith in humanity. I literally spawned a meme. Scott spawned a meme here. So, seriously. So then I get in contact with him outside of the site. And God damn it, is this stupid. No, I cannot believe I put my trust in him. Here's why the rant is going to be so short, people. Because Scott acted so human on this other site, I actually thought there was a ray of hope. So I make a promise that I will never tell anybody what this is. Right? 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 Well, Scott actually does things. So he says he's moving on. Hang on. Okay? So, Scott, in a nutshell, I have faith in him. For once. Boy, does he take it too far. He says he's moving on, and that in order to move on, he has to forget everything he's ever done wrong. What? Now, I tried to explain to him not once, but twice, that in order to move on, you have to learn from the mistakes you make. And that's actually a fact. You have to learn from the mistakes you make. You have to grow from them. And sure, I even made it in a journal. We are the products of our past. You can't just forget they exist. That's just not possible. Oh, God. Does Scott blow my mind with how much he's trying to do it. Also, if this sounds familiar, moving on, to anybody else, you may remember those lines being used by a specific other fan brat I know. Cam the pedophile used them quite often at one point in order for everyone to just forget what he said by saying sorry and said I wanted to move on from this as well. Wow. Way to mimic one of the other ones. That's why I wasn't buying it so easy. And the definition of moving on, you can't just twist it so that everyone forgets what you did. The fact is, it still happened regardless of whether or not you want to admit it or not. Here is where things start to take a turn. God. And I feel like an idiot for it. Okay, so when I start to point out and see through his faux pas, his little plan, he blocks me. So I decide, okay then, let him cool off, because he's also blocked me on Facebook too. He has a Facebook account. I'm sorry, I have to say it, after what he did. So, I can't contact him at all. So I decide to go and help figure out who this one troll is on DA, right? And it takes me a while. So I have to use evidence as well in order to prove what's going on. Well, unfortunately, since Scott likes to spy on everything that happens on DA, oh boy, he apparently gets butthurt whenever I mention the fact that he got hacked, and that I had to use that as evidence to prove Nexus and Keik's innocence. Oh, wow. What? Because you choose to move on, I can't use anything that you have as evidence anymore? No, not gonna happen. The fact is, it still happened, and I can still use it as evidence to prove other cases. He gets butthurt to the point that he unblocks me on DA, calls me a jerk for proving another account who they are, and get this, deactivates his account so I can't talk back. Oh, but it gets better, people. It gets so much better. This is what broke our friendship, whatever trust I had left in it. Because I should not be treated like this. No one in the world deserves to be treated like this at all. So, he unblocks me after okay, here's how it goes. I see through his moving on thing. He blocks me because I see through it and see what he's really doing. He unblocks me when I use pieces of his past in order to prove as evidence in order to figure out who someone else is, acting like a little butthurt baby while in the process. Then deactivates his account so that I cannot respond. But hurt much? Oh, and it gets better. He gets on my YouTube page, comments repeating another mistake that I've told him before. I have the discussion just for comments like this for. Hello, discussion just like profile on the DA page for. Do you not see this, see this, see this? It's for discussing with me problems you have for DA purposes. Ugh! And then, once he comments on the video that he's not supposed to comment on, bringing comments that are situations that should not be for others to see, he deletes said comment, even though I am still able to comment to him, and ignores every single comment I send. The entire fucking night. Oh, but it gets even better. This is how shitty he is treating me. Not only is he ignoring every single comment I am sending him on YouTube, but he is going behind my back. Behind my very fucking back to every single friend I have. Okay, Madison so far told me. Against her wishes. He is still contacting her and telling her I am not wanting to be her friend. What the fuck? This is more than just a little backstab. This is taking a goddamn sword, stabbing someone through the back, and dragging it the shit down. Killing whatever trust I had left in him. No, this wasn't even a friendship, was it? Whatever friendship you were trying to build up, you legitimately stabbed it, destroyed it, in that one fatal blow. You want to act like a butthurt man-child? That's fine. But when you go behind my back, and you try to tell my friends I'm not their friend, that's when you take things way too far and don't even deserve to be called my friend to begin with. Holy fucking shit! I hope no one else has to go through the same pile of crap like I just did. You're not leaving me a leg to stand on. You're not even giving me a chance to defend myself. I am trying my best to act like the mature one, but here you are acting like a butthurt fucking man-child to the point that you're doing exactly the same goddamn thing my ex-boyfriend did! If you don't have the goddamn balls to stand...
My life is brilliant. What? Was I too early? Oh, sorry. Do you want to start over or keep going? Okay. Now? My life is brilliant. Your life's a joke. You're just pathetic. You're always broke. Your homemade Star Trek uniform really ain't impressing me. You're suffering from delusions of adequacy. You're pitiful. You're pitiful. You're pitiful. It's true. Never had a date that you couldn't inflate. And you smell repulsive too. What a bummer being you. Well, you just can't dance and forget romance. Everybody you know still calls you farty pants, but you always have a job. Well, I mean, as long as you still can work that Slurpee machine. You're pitiful, you're pitiful, you're pitiful, it's true. You're half undressed, eating chips off your chest, while you're playing Halo 2. No one's classier than you. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, loser. You're pitiful, you're pitiful, you're pitiful, it's true. Your dog would much rather play fetch by